All right, let's welcome J.B. Clark and Russ Polsgrove into the show. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Two friends of mine and two friends of the program. Former Journal employee right here, J.B. So, anywho, fellas, want to talk with you all about the storytelling event that's going on August 19th. That's next Friday.
Yes.
Friday night at the Black Box Theater at the Link Center.
At the Link Center. These big cities have these amazing storytelling collectives where people come and share stories. And I just thought that was so sad because we're Southerners, man. That's our deal.
Yeah.
That's what we're known for, sitting on the porch and sipping tea and telling stories until the streetlights come on, you know? And so I was really upset about that. And she was like, okay, do something about it or stop complaining. And it's generally a pretty intimate crowd.
Yeah.
You know, there's rarely more than 30 people there.
Yeah.
Which is sort of by design. We want it to be small so that everybody feels safe. And we've heard some really, really personal stories.
Yeah.
And everyone's really good about not making it oh my gosh, have you heard? Like, I mean, it's not that we're getting up there and sharing just. It's just it's a safe space for everybody. It's really sweet. It's kind of like group therapy.
Yeah,
I haven't moved to tears, and maybe that says something more about me than it does about the stories. But I have been between tears and like doubled over laughing within a 5-minute span.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There was a week where my wife told a really, really sweet story just about some really tough times in her life, and there were moments where we were like, she was laughing and crying, and a lot of people in the audience were also laughing and crying at the same time.
Yeah.
Everyone was very confused, but we all
these
hugged.
emotions.
Yeah, like we all hugged and had a beer and ate popcorn, and it was nice.
Yeah. Y'all do have certain rules when it comes to what kind of stories you tell. Like, you can't tell a story that like runs somebody down or reveals some secrets of somebody else or stuff like that, right?
All of our rules are sort of contradictory, and we set it up that way. And like the first rule is everyone's story matters, so make sure that everyone feels safe up here. And that's followed by, of course, make sure your story matters. Like, don't get up here and bore us.
Yeah.
You know, like, come tell your story, feel safe, but, you know, think about, you know, beginning, middle, end.
Put some effort into it.
Right, put a little effort into it. We're all here. And, yeah, and there's, you know, we jokingly say, if you're a pimp, don't tell us about it because we will report you to the authorities unless, of course, you've dealt with that, you're over it, and the statute of limitations have passed.
Or you've served your time.
Yeah, and or you served it. In which case, please tell us about that.
We'd like to hear that story.
Right.
Don't tell us about the bodies that you've buried.
Right. We try to say don't talk about your blog or your ebook or whatever, unless that's a big part of your life. But don't sell it, and don't
don't pitch anything.
Don't tell us
don't
about.
Set up a merch table on the side of the
right. No merch tables. If your neighbor is his dog's pooping in your yard every day, like, tell us about that. That's a part of your life. But don't tell us about your neighbor, Henry Jones at 247 Lake Street.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I got you.
It's really a way to keep people on, I don't know if on task is the right word, but the whole idea of make sure your story matters, but every story matters is just a way for us to say, be true to who you are. Like, don't try to make your story sound better than it is, but at the same time, make sure it's genuine and authentic. And,
and if it is, it'll be a good story.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't have to, won't have to dramatize it.
And we've had like a 9-year-old girl get up and tell a story.
Really?
And we have had, we've had, I don't ask elderly people their age because my mom told me not to, but we've had some people on up there in years get up there and tell stories, and they've all been, everything in between's been great. We have sweet stories, and some weeks when the 9-year-old little girl isn't there, we have some not so sweet stories that are, still really fun to listen to. So it's a good mix. It's always a good crowd.
And you mentioned themes earlier. Every one of these storytelling events has a theme. This theme is white hot heat. What does that mean?
Was that Rod that came up with that?
That was.
Was that you?
Me.
That was you? Okay, and Rod was just like, yes. And I was like, I don't know. Okay, fine. We'll do it. Yeah. All right, so that was Russ.
We try to have themes that are general enough to cover a wide range of topics. So it's August in Mississippi, so it could be...
And it's been very hot.
It's been very hot. So
I've got a good moonshine story, which, I don't know if you ever had moonshine, but it's kind of the first thought you have when you swallow is white hot heat.
White lightning.
Yes.
I've never had proper moonshine.
Oh, wow. Well,
so
Yeah, or if you've ever listened to a blues guitar solo, that's a good white hot heat story.
Yeah, and y'all make it where you want people to try to stick to the theme, but it's pretty. Yeah, but you don't have to, and you just kind of keep things loosey goosey in that sense.
It's pretty open.
Yeah. Pretty open forum, just to kind of talk about whatever.
To take y'all
and then sometimes it's great.
So yeah, y'all go check it out. It's a really fun time. And like you said, it can be therapeutic if you get up there. I got up there one time and talked about my bad car wreck, and that was
it was great.
That helped, I think, in some fashion.
Also, you don't have to tell a story.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can just sit there and listen.
Yeah,
no pressure.
We might give you a little bit of a hard time, but
there's a little bit of pressure, but not, just because they need people to tell stories. But there's no you don't have to.
I'd say half the people tell a story every time.
Yeah, no, you don't feel like you have to. I mean, because if you can't think of a good one, don't get up there and tell a bad one. Just don't tell one.
But if you think your story's bad, give it a shot. It's probably pretty good. We haven't had anybody who was nervous to tell a story get up there and tell a stinker.
That's true. Okay.
And I haven't met anybody who hasn't said, "Man, that was really great." So everybody I know really enjoys it when they come.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, JB Clark, Russ Polsgrove, appreciate you fellas coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Good to see y'all again.
Yeah, you too.